Welcome to this session on Introduction to PHP. So we will start with the basics of PHP. In the previous session, we have already created a test directory in our htdocs. So whenever you have to create your own website or your own web page in a local host server, you have to make that inside C drive, XAMPP, htdocs. So you can give any directory, and inside that, by default, the web browser opens index.php file. So that's why we are creating an index.php file, and we will write everything into it. So this is basically to reduce the size of the URL. So for example, localhost/test is same as localhost/test/index.php. So both are basically same, but localhost/test is more convenient as it is short and easy to understand. There's no extension or anything. So let's start. So first you have to start XAMPP in order to execute everything. Now whenever you write a PHP code, it should be within the PHP tags. It starts with an opening arrow bracket followed by a question mark and PHP, and it closes with a question mark and a greater than sign, we can say. So this is how you write a PHP, where you write a PHP code. Next, whenever you want to print something, okay, you can just write print followed by your text within double quotations. For example, we write a hello world program, so we'll just write hello world and press Ctrl S to save, and just to refresh it, and you'll see hello world. So there are other alternatives for print, or also print, for example echo. So see, both does the same thing. See, both are basically same. Now if you want to write a comment in the PHP, then you just have to write / twice. So comments are basically to explain your code. So it is not a part of your program, it will not be executed. It is basically for the programmers to understand what code you have written. For example, if I'm writing an if condition, or just for example this hello world, I can just write a comment: echo is used for displaying data, or any information, or a string. You can write something like that. So basically this comment will not be executed, and it is just for the programmers. Like in case you write a program or you write an algorithm and you forget what you have written later on, like whenever you will open that algorithm after a few days, if you don't know what it is, these comments will help you to remember or to understand what it is. Now let's talk about variables. So in PHP, the variables are those which store some data. So it is just like in any other programming language. So variable stores some data or any information. So it can be in any type. It can be integer, it can be string, or it can be in float. But in PHP, there is no data type assigned to the variable. So if you whenever you will write a variable in PHP, it starts with a $sign. So for example, if you're writing a string $str, I'm saving hello world. So I'm saving hello world into a variable called str. So str is basically a variable of type string. So we are not assigning any data type to it, but since we are assigning a string to the str variable, it automatically understands that it is a string data type, or a character, or a set of character data type. Now if I will write the same thing like str1, you can say equals to 2, it automatically understands that $str1 is an integer data type. Now let's print both the values. So it's hello world and 2 because we are printing hello world and 2. Now if you want to concatenate both of these, basically you are writing echo twice and you are concatenating it. Well, I mean it's like concatenation, but if you want to really concatenate this, then you have to add a dot operator. So it basically concatenates two variables. So see, the result is same. Or if you want to add a space in between them, then you can just add another string in between, that is a space, and you can concatenate it with both the first and the last string. So see, there's a space in between hello world and 2. Now there's a concept in PHP called variable variables. So in this, you can assign a string as a variable, and then you can print that string using the variable where it is assigned. For example, if you'll write $a equals to hello, so it doesn't matter whether you are writing in single quotation or double quotation, it is a string. So I'm writing $a equals to hello, and $hello equals to maybe hi. So if I will print a, and if I will print hello, we will get hello hi, because $a prints hello and $hello prints hi. So instead of this, let's write $a. So let's see what it does. It prints hi. So what is happening here is $a replaces hello. Since $a equals to hello, instead of $a, here it comes right like this, hello. So it becomes $hello, and $hello contains the string hi. So it prints the text hi. Now let's quickly write an HTML code and a PHP code, a combination of those, where you write a text into a text box and the PHP will print it. So let's write the HTML part first. We'll write a so whatever the data which we are going to submit, for example here we are going to submit a data from a text box, everything should be within the form tag. And if you don't want the URL to change, for example if you're giving a username and password, after submitting, if you don't want the URL to show your username and password, you can give a post method. If you want your data to be shown in the URL, you can use get method, which Google does. So whenever you search something on Google, you can see the URL is changed. But in websites like Facebook, if you will just refresh the page, the facebook.com, it will automatically reload new pages. It will automatically update new pages or new posts without changing the URL. Now we want to submit the data in the same page itself, so we will send that data in the same page, that is index.php. That's why we are giving action as index.php. Now here we will write a text box. We'll make a text box here. So input type equals to text. So input is basically a place where we can write. So we will write a text, so type equals to text, and we'll give it a name. Let's give it text box like bx or like txtbx, and yes, and let's make a button to submit this, and let's give it a name. And let's refresh it. So whatever you write here, if you click on submit, it will tell me, okay, what is this? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. So whatever the data you will write here, and if you press enter, or if you will click on submit, the data will be submitted. But we have to show this data, so we will use PHP for that. So what we will do is, we will get the data from this text box named txtbx. So we can just print echo. Since we are using post method, we can just write, and there's an inbuilt variable in PHP that is post, $_post txtbx, that is the name of a text box. So let's see. If I will write, we will ignore this error for once. So we will write ABCD and see ABCD is displayed. Now why we are getting this error? Because initially there is no data in $_post txtbx. So basically this variable does not exist because we have not submitted anything from the text box. So that's why it is showing undefined index txtbx. So what we can do is, we can add this within a condition. If is set $_post btn equals to 1, or we can just write like this, and just refresh it, or and there it is gone. If you'll write something, it will print. So what this does is, it is basically checking whether $_post that btn equals 1 or not. So whenever you submit something, whenever you will submit using the submit button, the submit button will give either 1 or 0. If you have submitted something, it will give 1. If you have not submitted, or if you have not clicked the button, it will return 0. So we are basically checking. So 1 is for set and 0 is for not set. So we are checking whether is set and $_post btn. Since we are using a post method, we are just writing $_post. So we are basically checking whether we have submitted any button or not. If we have submitted, the value will be 1. So we are checking whether it is set or not. And if it is set, then only it will print the value. Otherwise, we can write a message, enter some value. See, enter some value. If I write world, it will print world.